Welcome to the Wine Elder. Today's wine is a Zinfandel from a winery called Mauritson. It doesn't say that on the bottle, it says Rockpile because that's they do different lines, different series of wines, but it's the Mauritson family in northern Sonoma County, Dry Creek Valley. The Rockpile is actually a region, an American Viticulture Association region, an AVA, that's within the Dry Creek Valley AVA. The Rockpile itself is a road above the reservoir, up along the ridge. They have these vines all along the ridge above the reservoir. The cooling waters of the reservoir, as the fog comes in off the ocean, makes everything cool up there. It makes the berries crisp up and tighten up so they don't get overly flabby and lose all their flavor and intensity. So the Rockpile Road is one of the premier places for Zinfandels, Cabernet Sauvignon, dark, deep, heavy, thick-skinned reds. They grow up there. The Mauritson family themselves has been farming up there for well over 150 years. Originally, they were farming sheep up there. The name of this Zinfandel itself is Far, with a little O above the A, making it a Swedish word. It's the Swedish word for sheep. The family was sheep farmers up on that ridge. They later planted vines. They've been growing wine up there for generation after generation. But Clay Mauritson is the first Mauritson family member to actually make the wine from the vines they're growing. His father and grandfather and his brothers and everybody, they grow the wine, sell it to other people. Clay said, I want to label the wine myself and come up with my own wine. So that's the Mauritson family. A little side note about Clay Mauritson. Every year he does a big charity event with local chefs and restaurants and other winemakers called Project Zin. It raises money for the northern Sonoma County Down Syndrome Foundation. I've been out there a couple times. It's a great event, a great charity. So a little plug, a little shout out to the Project Zin people and Clay Mauritson for putting that together every year. So let's go ahead and open this. So Zinfandel is, a lot of people believe that it's the same as Primitivo, the Italian grape, because it tastes very similar, and it almost is. They've done DNA testing on the grapes. They found that both grapes come from the same parent grape out of Croatia years ago. And the generations of that grape that are grown in Italy are Primitivo. The ones that found their way to California are Zinfandel. They're not the exact same grape, but they're very, very close, hence a similar flavor to it. So Zinfandels can be very tough to grow. They ripen unevenly on the vines. Some of the grapes will be still green. Some of the grapes will be ripe. So when you go to harvest them, if you harvest them too early, you kind of get a bitter tart wine. If you wait too late, it gets too raisiny and too sweet. So it takes a really highly skilled grower to know exactly how to handle that, when to pick it, what type of style you're looking for. One of the things that Clay's brother did his master's thesis on was pruning of Zinfandel. And he came up with different techniques to prune it so that they come out more even and more intense, better flavors. It's one of the things that makes the Mauritson grapes so famous for use in Zinfandel. I'm getting right off the bat here some good intensity to it. You get a lot of aroma to it. It hits you right in the nose as you put the nose in the glass. It's almost like a solvent, the way it hits you. This is bold but subtle. It tastes a little young. It's a 2021. It's Zinfandels, good quality Zinfandels can age quite a bit longer than that. So this one is maybe just, it's fine to open now, but I wouldn't mind letting this sit down for a few more years. It probably, when you do open it a little early like this, the more you let it breathe, the more you let it aerate and get air in there, really helps those tannins soften up. I'm getting kind of a cinnamon, kind of nutmeg, earthy spices in it. Not spicy spices, but like woody spices. It has a bit of ripeness. It's not quite jammy or raisiny, but kind of a hint of the sweetness you have in raisins without it. It's certainly not sweet, but it's not overly done and raisiny. Sometimes you get them overbaked and it's just all jam and no subtleness. This one still shows a lot of restraint. It has a really drying effect as well on the tongue, which is what you find for more high quality Zins. Zinfandel kind of has a bad name because there's so much of it that's made just really terrible Zinfandels. They make it as bulk wines for box wines. The classic white Zinfandel that they were, I guess they still make it, but it became really popular back in the 70s and 80s, just trash wines. It got a bad name, and it took a long time for really good quality growers to start figuring out how to make it more like the Cabernet Sauvignon style and less like a sweet rosé style. So this one is definitely the high quality style, but it's made more like you would have it with red meat steaks. We've got some burgers that we're grilling up here. So good juicy red meat would go well with this. But this one definitely has a lot of restraint, a lot of dryness to it. I almost need, I don't think I could drink the bottle by itself. This one screams for meat. It screams for big, heavy food. You could go so far, have pizza on the one side with it, or spaghetti with Bolognese sauce, up to juicy burgers and meat. I wouldn't quite go as far as just straight up heavy steak with it. I think it needs a little bit more of the freshness of vegetables and things to go with it. I'm really enjoying this one. Let's score this. I'll give it balance. It's a between a 4 and a 5. I think it'll achieve 5 the longer it's in the bottle. I think I'm going to give it a 4 right now because it's only a few years old and it's still developing and gaining its balance. So we'll go 4 on there. The depth is a 5. It's got a lot of layers to it, a lot of richness and depth to it. We'll give that a 5. The finish, it's fairly good lasting. When I taste that, it's lingering. The tip of my tongue and the back of my throat for long after I finished drinking it. It's still coating the whole palate. We'll give it a 5 on the finish. Representation is a 5. This is what a Zin should taste like. You got to be careful on the representation because the way most people think of Zins is they think of that just terrible sweet Zin that's jammy, that's so overdone and overbaked and made so cheaply. If that's what you think Zin tastes like, this is not representative of that. What this is representative of is a perfect example of a high quality Zin producer that makes it in a very rich, dry red style. So we'll give it a 5 there. And overall taste for this, we'll go with a 9. I really love this wine. I'm going to enjoy it more when I get that food and have it with food. It's going to really bring out the richness of that. So we've got a, what do we say, a 4, 5, 5, 5, and a 9. That's going to give us, I'll check my chart here, that gives us a score of 97 for the Mauritson Rockpile Zinfandel.